The world is hungry for energy. We need it to power our cities, our businesses, our cars, and our homes. And every year, we need more of it. To meet growing worldwide demand, energy companies are developing alternatives to traditional fuels such as coal, nuclear, and natural gas. One of the fastest growing new sources of clean, efficient energy in the world today is liquefied natural gas. LNG, as it is commonly known, is natural gas that has been supercooled into liquid so it can be shipped by ocean tanker to markets far away. It's safe, practical, and affordable.
The global LNG market is booming. Natural gas is growing at more than twice the rate of oil, and LNG is growing now at more than 10% a year. That is an incredible growth rate, and it represents the large demand for natural gas all over the world.
We've been able to drive down the price of LNG plants to the point where we can now make them economical, and we can compete on a worldwide basis and provide a cost-effective fuel to the world.
We set out at the beginning of this project to do the best possible project that we could execute. We had a tremendous number of talented people involved, not only in Bechtel, but PMT and EG LNG and Marathon involved in this project, along with subcontractors and vendors. World-class talent who work together.
Bioko Island lies some 30 kilometers northwest of continental Equatorial Guinea in West Africa. It is a picturesque tropical island about 70 kilometers long and 32 kilometers across. It has about 130,000 residents and is home to the nation's capital city, Malabo.
It's an extremely compelling site. It's 60 meters above the Atlantic Ocean. Mount Pico's in the back, 10,000-foot mountain. Very dramatic jungle.
Obviously the scenery here is beautiful. You know, people think of Equatorial Guinea and they don't know where it's at and they don't know anything about it, but when you get here, you're like, wow, this is a really beautiful place. And the people here are extremely friendly, they're very accommodating to us being here. And I just really give a lot of credit to just the local population. They've really welcomed us with open arms.
In 2004, Marathon Oil, Sonagas, Mitsui & Company, and Marubeni Corporation teamed to form Equatorial Guinea LNG Holdings, EGLNG for short. Its purpose? To develop a facility on Bioko Island for turning natural gas from a nearby undersea field into LNG. To design and build the $1.5 billion facility, EGLNG called on Bechtel Corporation, a premier global engineering and construction company and a leader in the fast-growing LNG industry. Bechtel has designed and built many of the world's largest LNG production plants. In the past few years, new facilities have come online in Australia, Egypt, and Trinidad. Bechtel is also constructing the world's largest LNG receiving terminal in Louisiana.
The LNG market for OG&C has been a very key part of our business for the last several years, and we predict it's going to be a big part of our business going forward.
It is a bright future for LNG as an industry, and I think that translates into some tremendous opportunity for Equatorial Guinea to be a major player in that LNG supply chain on a worldwide basis.
The new Bioko plant was designed to produce 3.7 million metric tons of LNG per year. Like other Bechtel LNG projects, this one uses the ConocoPhillips LNG process as its liquefaction technology.
Bechtel and ConocoPhillips have been partners in LNG technology for a long time, and we continuously have brought innovations into LNG. Many of the innovations we see here are things that we have developed jointly in our product development center in Houston. And it gives me great satisfaction to actually see those innovations being installed and providing what we think would be one of the most reliable LNG plants in the world.
The relationship with ConocoPhillips is an excellent relationship, and I think the joint efforts of both Bechtel and ConocoPhillips in supporting the LNG technology has got us where we are today. And that is to be one of the world leaders, if not the world leader, in the LNG business today.
In this process, feed gas is cascaded through three refrigerants: propane, ethylene, and methane. Natural gas is cooled to about minus 161 degrees Celsius, turning it into liquid. The LNG occupies 600 times less space than it did as a gas, making it possible to transport large amounts of it by sea. The Bioko Island project also included compressors, condensers, storage tanks, and marine facilities, including a 400-meter-long loading jetty to accommodate ocean tankers designed to carry LNG.
We have a very large loading line, vapor return line, which goes down to the jetty, and basically we use the 6 pumps, 3 in each tank, to load the ships at a given rate, which on this facility is approximately 10,000 cubic meters an hour. It takes us approximately 13 hours to load a ship, to get a full shipment on board. The control room is obviously the heart of the complex. We have all of our utilities, all of our process units, and all of our storage and loading units are fed into this system, which is called a DCS, which is a digital control system. And the panel operators, they monitor the operation of the facility completely from here. They will make the changes necessary, required to get the optimum performance from this facility.
We'll have about 28 EG-LNG personnel embedded with Bechtel to help support and be the operating staff under Bechtel's direction to bring this plant up and get it up running, lined out through the performance test, and then hand it over to that same operating staff from EG-LNG that will take it forward.
Right from the start, wet weather, rugged terrain, and the remote location of Bioko Island posed challenges for Bechtel and its subcontractors.
For this job, it was really about the planning phase. We had an island off the coast of West Africa that had no suppliers on the island whatsoever. So we had to figure out a way of not just getting the big equipment, the pipe, the steel there, all the tools and consumables needed to build the project. So whether it's as simple as someone's safety glasses and safety hat, to weld rods and basic materials, there was nothing on the island. So everything had to be shipped in.
A lot of the planning was done in the home office. We had good, excellent support from engineering and procurement. We had a good traffic and logistics chain to get materials to the site. We had good communications with Houston, weekly communication calls, which was very effective in keeping the job going. But the key to these remote sites is planning, and then follow through.
The project used local goods and services wherever possible, but still had to import everything from steel and piping to housing, food, and supplies for a camp of 3,000 workers.
On large projects such as this, there are a number of, let's say, projects within a project. We essentially had to design the utilities for a small town.
You need food for the camps, you need a caterer, you need all sorts of things. You need equipment to build the project with. You need cranes and dozers and trucks. You need to have all the support facilities. You need your medical, your safety. You're a little city out there, and there's nothing there when you get there. So you got to have all the services that you'd have in a little city. I mean, garbage collection, sewer. Got to go get your water. We got our water out of the river, and we treated it. So you just envision you're going to a site, nothing there at all, and you need to develop a little city. And the hard part, you got to do it very quickly because these jobs don't last very long. It's 2 or 3 years.
Equipment came from Egypt, Europe, India, South Korea, and the United States. And many shipments had to make multiple stops en route to the project.
Working in Equatorial Guinea is a bit of a challenge. It's a relatively remote location. You have to plan well ahead in order to have the materials you need to perform your work on a day-to-day basis.
Our chartering program was a big success. We had to really take a step back and think through the whole chartering program because it's so reliant on everything else. One of our charter ships came from Korea, picked up some pressure vessels, some heat exchangers, came into China, picked up some steel, went to India, picked up some pressure vessels, valves, and a couple of other items. And that's when the ship was filled up and sailed into Equatorial Guinea.